Well, there you have it, folks. We are headed to the lake, Lily and I, to go catch some big smallmouth. I haven't been out since last Thursday, so it's been a total of 5 days, 6 days. Been a long time. Try to catch some big fish. Let's get in the truck, head to the lake. Let's go, Lil. Boys and girls, craziest thing. Some guy came by my boat when it was spot locked, sent out a huge wake, caused my boat to get pushed off a spot lock and was floating down the lake. Was considering jumping in, but it came to the other side of the little channel, so I was able to go over in someone's yard and get my boat. Thank God. So there she is. Thankfully, these people had a dock over here. So now that I'm slightly settled down, back in the boat obviously, let's have a quick recap of what just happened, because I know things happened like very quickly. So I got to the ramp, didn't really plan on filming at the ramp because that's not the way that I do things. Well, I put the boat in the water, stuck it on spot lock, and the boat was locked there. I could turn the trolling motor, I could do everything I needed to do. And I came back and my boat was like bobbing in the middle of the lake. Ultrex had disconnected and I'm like, oh my gosh, dude. Water temp's 49 degrees, it's not warm. There's no way I'm swimming in 49-degree water unless I absolutely have to. So I was like trying to chase it down the lake. There's a little bit of current out here, so I was like, 49 degrees and current, this is probably not gonna end up well for me if I have to swim. Thank goodness there's a little eddy back there. The boat kind of sunk into that eddy and just kind of sat there. So what I did, I drove the boat and trailer all the way around to the other side of this channel and got the Ultrex to reconnect, but I couldn't control the trolling motor. I couldn't control the direction it was going. I couldn't control spot lock. All I could control was on and off, whether it would move or whether it would not. Thankfully, the boat spun enough, backed it into the boat ramp, or backed it into the dock, random person's dock, and was able to end up getting the boat. What a fiasco. This just gives me good reason not to trust the Ultrex, especially when the water's so cold I can't swim. Really dumb. Learned my lesson. Lily wants to be in the video, obviously, so let's go catch some fish. Okay, we're starting out the day by getting the net out. This is a lake where I have lost some giants because I haven't had the net out. So I'm gonna start out the day right, get that net out, get things prepared. Lily, baby, please get down. Get down. We're gonna start out with a swim jig. Swim jig on these natural lakes this time of year just really works well. Water temp's right around 50 degrees. Fish should be pushing up, getting shallow, so start out with something that I can cover a little bit of water with and that I know gets bites. And that swim jig just straight up does it for me. Dude, it just unspot locked again. What is going on? When I say I've not had issues with this thing, I don't mean like I've had some issues. I've had no issues with this Ultrex yet. I'm curious, has anyone else had issues with their spot lock, like undoing itself? Like coming unspot lock for no apparent reason? Like there's not even that big of waves. There should be a fish right on that log. That one's standing up. Today is like a perfect day for that swim jig, or for that swim bait. Just right on that log, like I said. Smallmouth. It's a chunky chunk. Look at that. Right on that lay down. That is a nice fish on a swim jig. Good way to get that thing started. Fish came right off of there. I let that swim jig kind of sink down, and look at how fat this is. This is what's going to happen with this cold weather holding these fish pre-spawn. You're going to see some megas this year. That is a solid one. Thank you, bud. That feels good, man. I was so frustrated when I had all that stuff happen in the beginning of the day. Oh, I missed one. That was a fish. Look at that. That was definitely a fish. I wish I had a follow-up. Because we have a little bit of wind and that water temp's right around 50, I'm actually going to pick up the swim bait. See if I can't get a bite on this thing. Especially with how aggressive these fish are. That was 2 casts in a row. Guys, I am not joking when I say my camera had just died and I caught this one on that swim bait. Now this is not a big fish, but how cool is that? Like almost back to back with that other fish. Look at that smallie. That's so cool. Thank you, fish. That fish came on this Savage Gear Shine Glide 185. You guys have seen me talk about it, seen me throw it. Wow, what a cool fish catch. So I know you guys just saw me catch one on that swim bait, but the problem is that's such like a trendy way to catch them, but it's a very tough way to catch them. I've had a bunch of followers, but fish just aren't committing to that thing. So I switched back to the swim jig, like 5 casts into throwing this thing, I ended up catching one. Oh, a smallmouth chased me out and ate me right at the boat, dude. Like I had no line out. I had that much line out. Oh man, oh man. The amount of fish that I have chased me out. That was another smallmouth. First third, I mean that's the first dock leading back up in here. Lily, what do you think about today, baby? We're catching some fish, boys and girls. We are catching some fish. These fish are pretty much textbook pre-spawners in that very first third of the creek, which, I'll be honest, nothing has changed from a couple weeks ago when I was out here. Very, very little, other than the water's a little bit lower. So, hoping I can keep catching some fish. We're gonna keep running this stuff, keep checking them. We're gonna go play in the wind a little bit, stay on some of this main lake stuff, see if we can't get bit. But look at, she's a little bit windy. It's a little bit angry out here today. Now we're on an inland body of water. Let's go catch some fish, boys and girls. Let's have some fun. There's one on that point. First largemouth of the day. This is a mixed lake, and so you're gonna have largemouth, smallmouth in the lake peeing. That's a male. Thanks, buddy. I wonder if there's a bunch there. Whew, that wind is rooting on a swim jig. Swimming along. Oh man. Did you guys see that? That fish jumped out of the water for my swim jig and totally missed it. I mean, just straight up totally missed it. Oh my gosh! What is going on right now? There's got to be a whole bunch on that point. Did you guys see those two fish, or maybe it was the same fish, just totally come out of the water for that swim jig? There's a largemouth. Swim jigging up a largemouth. Look at how fat these fish are. This is what amazes me. Because it's been so cold, these fish are getting super, super fat. And they're on every piece of wood. I mean, they're on like all the good pieces of wood back up in these pockets. So I got the question in the last video where I was fishing a swim jig like this. Why did I choose this over choosing a chatterbait? And for me, the biggest thing is my ability to fish it around this shallow wood without getting hung up. I can literally cast it right next to this wood, and as long as I'm careful, I won't hang this hook point. If I were to throw a chatterbait around the same area, there's a good chance I would hang up a lot. There's no weed guard on a chatterbait. There's no really effective way to keep a chatterbait from getting hung up. And so for me, just the benefit and ability to fish this thing around this wood really effectively has given me the confidence I need to fish this thing in the springtime like this. There we go. I wonder if that one's bigger. Nope. It's about the same size. Another largemouth. Up under that dock. There's a little piece of wood up under there. And that's what that fish was hanging out on. That's a male. He's peeing. Thank you. Thank you, buddy. Oh, man. Like the obvious good-looking stuff, most of the time the fish are on it right now. But it's just a matter of like, I don't know. I don't know what the struggle is, catching the big ones right now, I guess. But, ooh, man. I mean, it's a fun bite. Just, it's kind of challenging. Oh, wow. That fish hit it when that bait was, like, sitting there. That's a nice one. Heck yeah, that's a nice one. That is a 3.5 to 4 pound largemouth bass on the swim jig. That is a nice one. Zeros? Ooh, look at that. 3.73 pound largemouth bass. What a pretty one. Thank you, fish. Right up on the bank. Thank you, baby. The biggest key for all of these bites has been really shallow wood in like the first third of the pocket. So these fish are just starting to move back up in here, getting ready to pre-spawn, getting ready to do their thing, and I just backlashed the crap out of that reel. Whoops. There it is. I thought that was a fish. I felt him hit it, but I wasn't entirely positive. Smashing that swim jig still. Another nice one up on the shallow wood. That shallow wood, I'm going to repeat it over and over, has been the deal. So much so, the deal. One thing you guys are going to notice about the way I'm setting the hook on this bait is it's a sweeping hook set to the side. I'm trying to pick up as much line as possible because a lot of times, even around this wood, these fish will eat this bait but sort of come to you. So you want to pick up as much line as possible. I'm also not setting the hook as soon as I feel them bite. Like as soon as I feel that tick, I wait a second, keep reeling. And then once I'm sure like my line is either going sideways or my line is fishing different, then I'll sweep the hook set. Because a lot of times it gives those fish a little bit more time to get that bait, turn their head, and move to the side. So when you do set the hook, you get a little bit better part of their mouth. If you just set the hook right away, those fish might have the tail or they might be coming to you. You're going to pull that bait away from so many of those fish. There's one. Right off that piece of wood down there. Oh! Smoked my trolling motor. And he's hung in it. There. Come out of there. He's literally tangled around my trolling motor. Well, there is another first. Holy smokes. Today is just the king of firsts. Did that really just happen? Insane. Thanks, fish. Wow. I have never done that. Boat flipped a fish with the trolling motor. Holy smokes. Let's just end it like that. My gracious. That's insane. That is the stupidest thing. That is the stupidest thing. I just boat flipped a fish with my Ultrex. Okay, so now that we're done for the day, the boat's on the trailer, everything is really kind of put away and kind of wrapped up for the day. I want to have a quick conversation with you guys about positive mental attitude. And what this is basically a phrase or a term coined by Gerald Swindle. Essentially what it is this concept that your day is based upon your ability to overcome the challenges that you're faced with, right? Your ability to keep yourself in a positive mental attitude, even though there are a lot of challenging things that happen. For example, like this morning when that boat started floating down the lake, I could have put it back on the trailer, been done, been all frustrated throughout the day, really missed a good opportunity to have a phenomenal day on the water. Or for example, when I lost that fish right at the boat dock, when it broke me off, I could have been like, man, like get all frustrated and let that thing bother me. And yeah, it did stick in the back of my mind a little bit, but these are things that I was able to overcome. And today is really a good example of something that I'm proud of, my ability to find ways to overcome the challenges that I'm faced with. And no, by no means was today perfect, but it was a great day. Like, there were a lot of really cool things that happened. You know, I caught my first inland lake glide bait smallmouth bass, which was really, really cool. I caught that fish that ended up getting stuck in my Ultrex and ended up boat flipping it with the Ultrex itself. And then I caught that one fish with the 2 big crawfish pinchers hanging out of its mouth. It was a really cool day, and there were a lot of really cool opportunities that I had. Now, had I not kept the positive mental attitude, had I not kept looking on the bright side of things, today could have really gone a totally different direction. Could be back at home, could have been frustrated all day, could have made bad decisions, but instead I kind of got out of my own head, really focused on fishing and enjoying the time out on the water, because I don't get every single day on the water, and just kind of having fun out here. And that's really what it's all about. Today was really a lot of fun. I mean, there were a ton of firsts, as I mentioned, just crazy day just overall, but I'm super stoked that I was able to film, record, and go out there and enjoy this beautiful day on the water. Yeah, it's a little windy, I'm sure you guys can hear it, but just a really cool day. So thank you guys for watching. If you guys want to check out how to fish a swim jig like I did in this video here, I'll have that linked up in the corner for you guys to go check out, as well as down in the description below. It's really windy, don't know how the audio is, so I'm going to end it here, but as always, thank you guys for watching. Take care, Ted Lyons. God bless. Pursue your passion.